So Florian, let's start with a bit about Mosys. Tell me about the company and what you offer the sports broadcast sector.
Yes, so Mosys is a 25 years old company. At Mosys, we're creating technologies for real-time virtual production, as we know, and also robotics for broadcast and for film. So we are known in both fields, actually, very well. I mean, with our robotics, we have a legacy in film industry. That's why our robots are so precise and robust. And over the years, it became more and more popular in broadcast. And today, it's used on many broadcast shows, on many events, sports events, of course. And we have a range of robotics going from the smallest one, call it the L20, because it's really a small form factor, 20 kilo, to the biggest one for box lenses. So I'll talk a bit about that. And then, of course, virtual production for us is also what we're very known for and leader on the markets, on many market research for real-time visual effects with green screen, LED walls for studio, as well as AR graphics. And for that, we provide the whole solution. So it's hardware, software, education services. We really do the whole to create a virtual production ecosystem. And more we see that the robotics side and the virtual production are going more hand in hand.
Okay, and virtual production is becoming a game changer for sports, but it can be complex. How is Mosys helping its customers navigate this complexity, and what solutions are available to enhance productions?
Exactly, so it can be complex, and also we need to know what we are using the technology for, right? Because is it to have more sustainability, more viewpoints, more efficiency? Well, usually and ideally all of them together, right? For us, there's multiple aspects where we want to make it simpler and easy to use for everyone, whether it's for the production or for the camera operators. We do a lot with remote production with our robotics. So for example, being able to control a camera remotely from anywhere through fiber, through any connectivity. But for that, you need, what's very important for the camera operators is to have the same feeling as if they were behind the camera, but somewhere else remotely. So that's why we work a lot on that. So for example, with our U50 head, it's called U50 because it's U-shaped and it can carry 50 kilos. So for box lenses, it's ideal. We had this head on many shows. We had it, for example, at the golf, at the PGA for the Players Championship over 3 years now at the Players. And it provides the camera operators a possibility to have the exact same feeling as if they were behind the camera. And to do so with box lenses, for example, it's not easy. So that's why we integrated with actually the Vinten 750Is as they are used to, but we turned it with our special plates into a pan bar. So it feels like a pan bar for them. They can put as many weight as they want, so they have the same feeling on the pan bar, and it's controlling the box lens, because when you zoomed all the way in with a box lens, what really matters is the precision in the control, because every movement, every vibrations will be felt in the camera. So with that, why was I saying that? Because it's important for us to replicate this feeling, and then the goal is to make, of course, the experience more interesting for the viewer, ultimately, right? And to have an efficient workflow. So with remote, we have this efficient workflow, but for a more efficient, that's great, but for a more interesting experience, that's where more for software come in play with AR graphics. Because we know precisely the position of the head, because it's extremely robust motor, right? There's no play or anything. We can do AR graphics suddenly, and it's opening so many possibilities. For us, it's important that our software is in Unreal, because in Unreal, that's where all the 3D artists are developing their assets for game shows, for AR graphics, for development, so they can put their assets in Unreal, and with our software, we can merge the virtual world and the real world with live AR graphics. So, for example, at the golf, we had a live AR of golf balls or floating panels in real time for shows like shows like Strictly Come Dancing, for example. We have all our AR graphics in real time as well, whether it's with our robotics or, of course, with camera tracking, with our Star Tracker camera tracking. So you were asking, to come back to the question, how do we make it easier ways by creating this whole workflow and ecosystem, combining robotics, combining camera tracking. If you don't use a head, you still need to be able to track your camera if it's handheld or Steadicam. And with that, we do with the Star Tracker for many years. And then with the software, we can do real-time AR graphics, all in real time. So having all these elements of the chain really make it really much more easy for the productions, for the people on set, and much better experience for the viewer as well.
Absolutely. And we're seeing a skills shortage across many areas of the industry, including virtual production. Tell me about how Mosys is working to meet this challenge with the Mosys Academy.
Yes, it's really important. So on that side, I will talk a little bit more about virtual production as in studio, more than AR graphics that we just talked about. Because of course, and I'll talk about broadcast and film. What we are really known for is, of course, as well, virtual production, whether it's with green screen or with LED walls more and more recently. And again, for virtual production, this is still really new, right? It's like, we all know about virtual production today. It's not that new anymore, but there's still big, like you say, skill gap. So to be able to embrace virtual production and all this technology, it's usually not happening during a show or during a production, because that's not when you're going to start experimenting. I mean, you can, but that's at your own risk, I would say. So really, you have to be confident with the technology before. That's why for us, it's important to provide training that are, we call them really hands-on training, where you can really, first you're going to learn how to set up the tracking. It's the first step of virtual production, because when you move your camera, the background needs to move. So the key is tracking at the beginning. So you can come in and be really hands-on with the camera with a little group, not more than 2 people per camera, because you really need to set it up, calibrate it. Then what's important as well with the tracking was what we call lens calibration, for example, to have the distortion of the lens matching the distortion of the real world. So that's all these elements you're learning. And then you learn with our software, which is again native Unreal, so you can use it inside Unreal, how to interface that with the assets, how to optimize the assets so they work. So it's a lot of trial and error to learn it, and that's things you don't learn on set, or you don't learn during a show. So that's why at Mosys it's all about hands-on training and to, yes, bridge the skill gap, because it's becoming more and more competitive. Of course, with so much technology coming on every day, there's something new, which is also very exciting, right? But to be able to leverage this technology and to be competitive, it's important to learn these skills to be able to operate these studios and this technology. So that's what our focus is at the Mosys Academy.
And so you mentioned the L20 earlier. Tell me more about that.
Oh yes, so we came from, if we go through the whole range, we have a lot of different camera technologies and robotics. The U50 is a big one for box lens, and we have a gyro stabilized head, the G30. It's used for both film and broadcast. And then the L20 is brand new. I mean, we released it really, I think, 2 months ago. And what's really exciting about it is like it's really compact. So the form factor is really interesting, especially the way it's going with broadcast. We are looking into more hybrid kind of cinematic broadcast approach. So you can have much more compact camera packages. So the L20 is providing that. It's really compact, but it's also really fast and precise. So you will be able to do new camera movements that will not be doable before, and also will be really dangerous for the camera operator. I'm thinking of Formula 1, Formula E, areas when you need a quick whip pan, and it's dangerous to put someone here, someone there. Then you can replace it with the L20, and it can be controlled remotely from somewhere else. So thanks to that, we're adding more viewpoints in areas that will not be broadcasted before, because they will be too complex to put someone there, or too dangerous to put someone here. And the good thing is that we can also do AR graphics with it, because we know precisely where the head is. So the L20 is going to be really interesting in opening a whole new market.
That sounds great. Thank you very much, Florian.
Thank you so much. Thank you.